Is Wuthering Waves dying? Short answer, no. Of course not, you moron, you imbecile, you buffoon, you dumb pee pee poo poo head. But also, yes, it is dying. Long answer, it's complicated. A couple of days ago, I was made aware of this growing narrative surrounding Wuthering Waves that the game is dying. Out of curiosity, I decided to look into it. Having now done that, I want to share my discoveries, speculations, and opinions. Safe to say, Wuthering Waves was a very hyped up game. Before its release, you couldn't go 5 seconds without someone in the gacha community screaming from the rooftops about how excited they were. People praised how amazing the combat looked, how great the characters and world looked, how being able to capture and use Pokemon was really interesting, and of course, the ever so popular Genshin Killer title. Because of how hyped the release of this game was, I wouldn't blame you for expecting Wuthering to be one of the most successful gacha games of all time, earning roughly the same amount of revenue as the big boys like Genshin, Star Rail, AFK Arena, and Love and Deep Space. Apparently. However, seemingly, Wuthering is nowhere near as successful as these games, or is it? From what I can gather, there are two main reasons as to why people think Wuthering is dying. First is the fact that seemingly every single month, Wuthering Waves is earning less and less money. When people talk about the revenue of a gacha game, usually they are referring to a website called Gacha Revenue. This is a website that uses various sources in order to rank every mobile version of gachas to each other and give an estimation of how much revenue the mobile version earned. A lot of gacha community members live and die by these estimations, treating them like gospel, using this website to see which games at best are simply losing popularity and at worst, which will shut down soon. The problem with that is that, like I said, these are simply estimations of revenue earned on mobile platforms. Gacha revenue is not 100% accurate. What it is simply a method of getting a rough idea of how successful any given game was in any given month. Did Wuthering earn exactly 24,800,000 in May? I don't know, maybe, and neither do you. It could have earned 24 million, it could have earned 10 million, or maybe it earned 69 googillion. And lest we forget, Wuthering also has a PC client. Gacha Revenue does not estimate PC earnings, so safe to say Wuthering is earning more money than what you see on this website. P.S. Please only use Gacha Revenue as a rough estimation of success and not concrete proof of success. Now let's take a closer look into Wuthering's estimations on Gacha Revenue. Wuthering Waves released on May 22nd, which means it only was able to generate 1 week of revenue in May. Despite that, as previously mentioned, Wuthering earned 24 million. In June, they earned 46 million, which is very impressive. However, in July, they dropped down to 29 million. In August, they had another massive drop to 13 million. And finally, most recently, in September, they dropped yet again to 10 million. Now, this might look bad, because it is. Even though these numbers are just estimates, the downward spiral of Wuthering is true. The game is consistently earning less and less on mobile platforms. But why is that? Obviously, I cannot tell you with full certainty why this is happening, but I can speculate. One of the biggest problems with Wuthering is its atrocious optimization. Since its release, it has been unplayable for many players. Anecdotally, I still cannot play Wuthering on my PC. The game simply does not run on my system. I can play other games like Genshin, Star Rail, Armored Core 6, Devil May Cry 5 on max settings perfectly fine, but not Wuthering. The following is footage that I recorded from the opening section of the game, and as you can see, it makes me want to vomit. And trust me, it got so much worse the further I played, but I didn't record that. Because of this, I stopped playing the game. I have a 2023 phone and I can play it on max settings perfectly fine, but I don't play it on my phone because of overheating. 10 minutes into my play session and my hands start melting. And for some reason, mobile didn't have controller support until the recently released version 1.3. But by this point, all excitement and interest I had in this game was replaced with disappointment, frustration, and apathy. My current plan is to wait for the PS5 version to release to revisit the game. I'm hoping they will implement some much needed optimization by that point. Maybe I'll be able to reinvest myself and play every day, or maybe I'll just drop the game again. I don't know. Even though I got lucky and was able to play on mobile, a lot of players still to this day can't play on either platform. The following are recent reviews from the Google Play Store. Feel free to pause and read them yourselves, but basically they are reviews of people saying they enjoy the game but are still not able to play the game because of poor optimization. Because of these problems, many players quit the game. Some will eventually return like me, while others will never come back. Also, poor optimization aside, there were definitely some players that played Wuthering Waves for a month or two and spent a little bit of money, but then after some time realized that they didn't like the game, so they dropped it, and because of that, some of the revenue did go down. Anyways, this is one of the reasons as to why Wuthering keeps earning less and less revenue each month. I think people heavily downplay how much of a problem poor optimization is. Regardless of how much people enjoy your game, if they can't play it, they certainly won't be spending any money on it. Like I said, I can't say with full certainty why Wuthering is seemingly losing revenue, but what I do know is that just because the game is bleeding players now doesn't mean it will die. Gachas are very volatile. 1 second they are on the cusp of shutdown, the next they are earning a couple million every month. If Wuthering can improve optimization, all they need is one big, well-made update to regain players. From there, they would hopefully be able to carry that momentum and find further success. I haven't played version 1.3 myself, but while making this video, I have heard good things about it. So who knows, maybe the Black Shore will be the beginning of Wuthering's comeback story. Or maybe not, and we'll have to wait for the PS5 version and or anniversary. The second reason there seems to be a narrative that Wuthering is dying is due to content creators. Ever since Wuthering launched, there have been countless videos talking about how the game was a disappointment and is already dying. For example, this fat ass piece of shit subhuman waste of garbage imbecile troglodyte, like always, immediately started talking about the failure of the game, and he's not the only one. Search up Wuthering Waves dying on YouTube and you'll see a bunch of random videos speaking complete nonsense. The reason this matters is because let's say some random person sees an ad or cinematic for the game, they think it looks interesting and want to find more information about the game, so they go to YouTube and stumble upon these videos. Do you think that random person is going to download the game? If I was in that person's shoes, I probably wouldn't. If the game is supposedly dying, why would I waste my time playing a game that won't be around for much longer? For better and for worse, YouTubers and streamers hold a lot of power. These kinds of videos certainly aren't helping the dwindling player base, and let me be clear, these videos are not made by MiHoYo/Genshin Impact fanboys and White Knights. The people making these videos are Wuthering Waves fans and players. And no, they aren't specifically ex-Genshin fans that moved to Wuthering either. I specify this because this is a common defense that the Wuthering community uses that is blatantly untrue. Wuthering Waves fans, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but the call is coming from inside the house. But the question still remains, why are people making videos like this? Simple, views. Super negative videos like this can potentially receive a lot of views, and not only that, they are easy to make. Making a low effort video where you just randomly spew a bunch of fear-mongering nonsense into the mic is easy. Barely an inconvenience. Isn't that right, Stave Puft Marshmallow Man? These people don't care about how their words will negatively impact the game as long as they get views. Thus, the narrative that Wuthering is dying was born. And like I said, people have been making these videos since the game launched. Here's the thing. We don't know how much money Kudo needs to generate in order to keep the lights on every month. But comparing Wuthering to every other big 3D gacha currently on the market, 10 million a month is more than enough for the game itself. However, once you start adding things like marketing campaigns, big fancy cinematics, and any other potential money sinks, 10 million suddenly starts to look a lot smaller. But remember, this number is just for mobile. For argument's sake, let's say that the PC version earned roughly the same amount as the mobile version. That would mean the game actually earned roughly 20 million in September, if not more. Realistically, that's more than enough to keep the lights on. Wuthering definitely lost a lot of players in between now and its release, and it certainly is nowhere near as successful as a lot of us thought it would be. But I can comfortably say that it isn't dying anytime soon. Once the PS5 version releases, they will start earning even more revenue than they currently have. But this downward spiral is dangerous. The longer Kudo takes to optimize the game, and the more trash videos people release, the more damage the game will receive. Even if the game slowly improves with time, if there is still this constant talk about how the game is dying, the game may never reach the soaring heights it is capable of. Anyways, long story short, the game definitely lost a lot of players and there is definitely room for improvement, but in my opinion, it's not dying anytime soon. From the little of the game I played, I quite enjoyed the combat, but I found the open world and story very lacking. Wuthering has potential to be a truly amazing game, and hopefully, the current conundrum it's going through will be nothing more than a temporary setback. In a year or two, we can look back to this time and laugh at how ridiculous all of this was. Hey everyone, Vladimir here. Hope you enjoyed the video. I would really appreciate it if you guys left a like, dislike, comment, subscribe, or don't. It's up to you. And if you somehow aren't sick of my voice yet, then feel free to watch one of my other videos. Just press on one of the videos on the screen. Either way, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.